Live from 2 on your side. This is Channel 2 News Daybreak.
This is no longer about my son. It's about her and her and him and him.
A death at a correctional facility near Syracuse has been ruled a homicide. Why this is sparking a statewide call for action.
Plus, a beloved diner is closing its doors in Black Rock after 30 years in business. How long you have to visit Nick's place one last time.
And could Josh Allen take home his first MVP tonight? We'll have more on the NFL honors ceremony and the other Bills who are up for awards.
Good morning, everybody. 6:01 on this Thursday, February 6th. Thanks for starting your day with us here on Daybreak. I'm Melissa Holmes.
And I'm Pete Gallivan. We're expecting a slippery morning commute out there with freezing rain and all kinds of precipitation over parts of western New York.
Yeah, be sure to give yourself a little extra time to get out the door, get to where you need to be on time this morning. 2 on your side's got live team coverage for you this morning as it is a weather impact alert day.
Right. We have Kevin O'Neill out in the South Towns. We'll hear from him in just a minute.
But first, let's head over to the Weather Center with Patrick tracking all of that precip out there. The best way to track it is to go outside and see for yourself what's falling right now, right, Patrick?
Just went outside, 24 degrees, and it's raining. Like, what?
Weird.
Yes, It is raindrops, but they come down, and of course, in the colder air and the colder surfaces, it refreezes. So the cars in the parking lot are covered in ice. So is the parking lot, and so are some roads that have not been treated yet because of the freezing rain that is moving through right now, and maybe a little bit of snow up towards the Lake Ontario shore, but this will transition to sleet and then freezing rain before ending potentially as just plain old light rain. The good news is that this is on the move. It will affect the morning drive. It will slow things down, but by 8 or 9 o'clock, it should be pretty much over with. But the pink is areas where you see the freezing rain, and we've got some of it going on across the southern tier, northern Pennsylvania too, so it is going to be very slippery. Winter weather advisories have been hoisted because of the snow and ice through this afternoon, and then it gets windy. This afternoon and tonight, winds 45 to maybe 50 miles an hour. So we'll transition to a windier and colder weather pattern by tonight and tomorrow. See 34 in Erie, 34 in Dunkirk, but it's 10 degrees colder in Buffalo, a sign of warmer air coming. So this morning, a combination of snow and freezing rain. By noon, maybe a few sleet pellets or a raindrop. And then as we head into the afternoon the wind begins to pick up. All right, roads are going to be a little dicey this morning, Dave. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning to you, Patrick. Crunchy this morning and icy. It took me almost twice as long to get from Amherst out by UB into downtown Buffalo here at the Operation Control Center for the NFTA this morning. As you head out the door, we do have an accident reported on the 90 West between the Eden-Angola exit and Silver Creek, and had another accident reported on the 198 West at Niagara Street. The left side of your screen is the 198 just beyond Niagara Street, and we did not see that one vehicle accident there, so they may have taken off already or be on one of the off-ramps. Here's the 190 South on the right at Sharon and Kenmore. Again, it's going to be a little slower than normal on most of the major routes, even though the Salters have been out all night. Neighborhood side streets pretty well covered in ice. This is a live view of the 90 East and West at the 33. Many of the cameras on the 90 are all iced over this morning. Here's the 219 North. You can see traffic moving slower than normal on the left. This is at Southwestern Boulevard. Metrobus and Rail and Paratransit are running right on schedule this morning, and boy, you'll be glad that we are doing the driving for you on a 2 hands on the wheel morning like today. Back to you, Pete and Melissa.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Dave. And as we've been telling you all morning, the roads could get pretty icy today. So we have a crew out monitoring the conditions, giving us a first-hand view.
Yeah, Kevin O'Neill out there right now in Storm Tracker with our photojournalist Mike Luksh behind the wheel. Where are you guys? What's it like out there?
This is a transit road. We are heading north right now, just past William into the Depew area, into Lancaster. And again, your weather app is lying to you. If you peek at your weather app, I just did, the Apple app says it's 29 degrees and snowing in Lancaster, but it is not. Your app probably thinks it can't rain when it's 29 degrees, but yes, it can when there's a melting layer aloft. It's forming as snow, melting or partially melting on the way down, and then refreezing here at the boundary layer. So, again, the precipitation amounts are not impressive, but the precipitation type can make things icy and dicey. You're going to need extra time to scrape the windshield, preheat the car. The most dangerous thing you do this morning, guys, may be the walk to the car. The exterior steps are going to be very slippery on your property. So be careful of that on your workplace as well, your winter walking skills. And as of now, the roads, we have been on Thruway, Route 20, Transit Road. Things appear to be pretty slushy, but not that icy. But I would say the side roads and maybe the sidewalks will be slippery this morning. Guys?
Yeah, I don't recommend stilettos this morning.
Yeah.
I made that mistake. Make sure you have the boots and then change to stilettos when you get inside. Kevin, keep that in mind, okay?
Yep, that's what I did. All right, thanks, Kev. As we told you last month, Western New York's main salt supplier is still dealing with a production issue leading to distribution delays. The Erie County Department of Public Works says orders from American Rock Salt are still coming in, just not in the full amount they need. The county is now looking into getting contracts with additional suppliers, but it is still presenting challenges. The most impacted municipalities, like the town of Tonawanda, for example, say they can scale back on coverage areas if they need to.
And you can stay weather aware with our Storm Team 2 app. It's got live radar, weather impact alerts, and the 7-day forecast all in the palm of your hand. It's free to download right now from the App Store or Google Play. Switching gears now, it is 6:07, turning to other developing news this morning. Some New Yorkers are demanding justice in the death of an inmate at a correctional facility near Syracuse.
Back in December, we told you about Robert Brooks of Rochester. He died after he was beaten by Marcy Correctional Facility officers. His death has now been ruled a homicide. Daybreak's Natalie Foss has more on the investigation and now a statewide call for action. Good morning, Natalie.
Melissa, Pete, good morning. New York State Governor Kathy Hochul is calling for all of more than a dozen correctional officers and 2 nurses who are currently on suspension who were involved in Brooks' death to be fired. According to attorneys, the medical examiner's office ruled Brooks' official cause of death as compression of the neck and multiple blunt impact injuries. They say the manner of death was determined to be a homicide. Brooks' family gathered in Rochester on Tuesday night with dozens of people calling for prison reform and justice for their loved one.
My hope is they can go to jail and come out better than they was when they went in. My son was like, Dad, I got my GED. You know, I'm taking horticulture classes. I ain't like it, but I learned some stuff. My hope is that our community members, our brothers, our sisters, our family members can go to jail, come home better, and come home and not in a body bag.
The family's attorney said in a statement, quote, "The autopsy report confirms what was already clear. Robert Brooks' violent death was a homicide. We look forward to the prosecution of those responsible," end quote. The state attorney general appointed Onondaga County District Attorney William Fitzpatrick as the special prosecutor in charge of investigating Brooks' death. The case is expected to be heard in front of a grand jury, and so far there have been no criminal charges in Brooks' death. Pete, Melissa.
All right. Thank you very much for that update, Natalie. It is 6:08 now on Daybreak, and in just a few hours, jury selection will pick back up in the trial of the man accused of stabbing a famous author at Chautauqua Institution. Hadi Matar has pleaded not guilty to attempted murder and assault in the attack of Salman Rushdie. 9 jurors have been seated in Matar's trial. 3 jurors and 4 alternates still need to be selected. The trial is expected to begin on Monday, and Rushdie is expected to be one of the first witnesses on the stand.
6:09 on Daybreak, and a Buffalo diner owner is hanging up his apron and shutting the restaurant doors after 3 decades in business. Nick's Place on Amherst Street in Black Rock is closing in the next few weeks. The restaurant owner says he's also retiring. He says an unexpected and significant rent hike forced him to make that decision earlier than he wanted. Your last chance to eat at Nick's Place is on Sunday, February 22nd. And while you might not be thrilled about this year's Super Bowl matchup, we have been following another kind of Super Bowl.
Yes, that's right. Frontier and Hamburg. I almost made one school district, Framburg. Frontier and Hamburg, along with Randolph Academy, went head-to-head in a cooking competition. Competitors brought their best chili, soup, and mac and cheese to Hamburg Middle yesterday to win over people's taste buds. And Randolph Academy's Evan Cardona wound up winning the Golden Ladle for his beef chili recipe. Congratulations, Evan.
I'm sure lots of people have some chili and soup and mac and cheese on the stove this weekend as good Super Bowl foods.
Good homemade mac and cheese, can't beat it.
Do you do a little sour cream on top of the chili?
On occasion.
On occasion?
On occasion.
Adds a little color, a little texture, a little coolness.
Yeah.
Cool on top of the hot.
Little jalapenos, little green onions. I see where
now
you're
we're
going with
talking.
that.
Oh, we're talking. All right, we are talking some ice. We have freezing rain occurring as we speak. The dance floor here, it's going to have to be limited today because it is a sheet of ice, and windshields and sidewalks are very icy this morning. And again, it's just bizarre. I mean, you see raindrops falling, and it's 24 degrees. But this is a weather school. You learn this. This is a classic freezing rain setup with the temperature up high. The temperature at your head is warmer than the temperature at your feet, and that's why you're going to see this frozen precip. So freezing rain and sleet. Then we're done. Mid-morning, cloudy with just a few rain showers possible at noon and into the afternoon. But again, the main shield of sleet and freezing rain is moving through now up towards the falls where it's a little colder. It's still snow up towards Wilson as well. The escarpment locked into some of the colder air, so it's snow, but it'll mix over quickly to freezing rain before it comes to an end. Notice by this afternoon, it's getting windy. It's in the 30s, but the precipitation is over with. Tomorrow morning, we will have had about an inch, well, half of an inch of freshly fallen snow overnight, but it's cold again with temperatures in the low 20s. And tomorrow, we'll see a mostly cloudy skies, temperatures in the mid 20s. And then a weekend forecast that brings more snow as our winter carries on into mid-month. The weather looks active with snow next week too, so more on that coming up in just a few minutes.
All right. Safety first, Patrick. No dancing today.
Coming up next on Daybreak, making sure Highmark Stadium, the new one, is one of the loudest stadiums in the NFL. We'll tell you what was installed last week. Welcome back, 6:15. Dave Cash, you are going to be a busy guy this morning, I believe.
Absolutely. Watching all these cameras. And Melissa and Pete, when we get some freezing rain like this, you have to just keep your fingers crossed that a lot of the traffic camera lenses don't get coated over with ice, because then they're useless to us. So they have wipers, but sometimes the wipers can't keep up with the ice buildup on the lenses. We do have an accident this morning, a minor accident on the 90 West between the Eden-Angola exit and Silver Creek. At the airport, some cancellations on the arrival side. We have a flight from LaGuardia in the 10 a.m. hour that's been canceled, one from JFK in the 11 a.m. hour canceled, and 3 departures between now and midnight canceled. Flights to Philly and LaGuardia this hour, and to JFK in the 7 a.m. hour. Of course, you should always check with your individual airline. Here is a live view of the 290 East on the right at Millersport Highway. We've got very light traffic volume. You're going to find roads to be very icy and traffic to be moving slowly, especially on neighborhood side streets and secondaries, but even on the major routes. A crunchy go, and traffic slower than normal. Here's the 400 North on the left side of your screen here, in between Transit and Union Road, and on the 190 North and South through downtown at Church Street and the Skyway. Again, moving well so far, but we've got very light traffic volume. Metrobus and Rail and Paratransit are still currently running right on schedule. Use caution, though, stepping on or off the bus, because the icy sidewalks and the streets could be icy as well. Back to you, Pete and Melissa.
All right, very good, Dave. Good advice there. Thank you. 6:17 on Daybreak, and Bills Mafia has been manifesting it all season long. Yeah, those MVP chants were heard at every game at Highmark Stadium this year. And tonight we will finally learn if Josh Allen will actually get that honor. He's in the running for NFL MVP along with Saquon Barkley, Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, and Jared Goff. Now, as for other Bills players and team members, Bills offensive coordinator Joe Brady is a finalist for Assistant Coach of the Year. For the second year in a row, Damar Hamlin is in the running for Comeback Player of the Year, and Deion Dawkins is up for Walter Payton Man of the Year. The awards get underway at 9 o'clock tonight. And with Josh being a potential MVP candidate, a lot of people are wondering about a contract extension and pay boost.
Yeah, he still has 4 years left on his current deal, but a new deal could be on the horizon. His $43 million average annual salary ranks 14th among quarterbacks in the league. General Manager Brandon Beane says he's open to having a talk about contracts.
It's one of those things, he and I have a great relationship. We talk a lot. When the dust settles, before we're ever really talking to his agent or his agent's calling me, like Josh and I will have those conversations holistically about the team, things like that. And I'm not saying it will happen. I'm not saying it won't happen. I don't really want to go into that. And I really can't tell you at this point. We haven't even approached that.
All right, 6:19 now on Daybreak.
By the way, we've got really cool video online right now of the 32 speakers being installed at the new Highmark Stadium, which crews are promising this will be one of the loudest NFL stadiums, in the league because of the state-of-the-art speakers.
And these construction crews, is there like an instruction manual? Okay, turn to page 4. Okay, today speakers, tomorrow
Put the yellow cord in the yellow hole.
I mean, how do they know what comes, the order of things? It's just crazy.
And precise angles and everything else.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. All right, let's take a look and show you the forecast for today this morning. We've got freezing rain, maybe some snow up towards the falls, but mainly some freezing rain and sleet. By 9, 10 o'clock, it's all over with, okay? Maybe a little raindrop as temperatures climb above freezing, and then it gets windy later on this afternoon and certainly tonight. So there we go. We've got, I know it shows, see the pink is freezing rain and sleet, blue is snow. that transition maybe just a little bit farther to the north, but you get the idea. Where it's a little colder near the escarpment, it's probably snow, but we are seeing more of a mix, as you saw up on the roof. It was plain old freezing rain in Buffalo, and that's what we're seeing across the South Towns. Kevin has been showing us Hamburg out towards Lancaster, and it's freezing rain just about everywhere. And there's more to come. Notice down in northern Pennsylvania, pretty icy here too. This will last another 2 hours, 2.5 hours, and then it should be out of here pretty quickly. Future look shows that freezing rain and sleet, that's the pink, but 8:30, 9 o'clock, it's done. But the timing of this is during the heart of the meat of the main part of the morning commute. All right, into this afternoon, temperatures in the 30s. It starts to pick up with the wind. Overnight tonight, a little area of snow moves through 1, 2 a.m. Many of us will sleep through it, a quick 1/2 inch, and then the winds continue, and it's cold tomorrow with temperatures in the 20s. Ice accumulation, it will not be much, but it doesn't take much to cause some traction issues on the roads and sidewalks. And any snow will be pretty meager, but maybe a coating to an inch near Lake Ontario. All right, future winds. This is the wind gust potential as we head into the afternoon. Notice 40, 45 miles an hour this evening and tonight. Some wind gusts could approach 50 before the wind begins to taper tomorrow. Then the next system, this is Saturday afternoon. Light snow develops. It picks up a bit as we head into Saturday night. This next system appears to be all snow, not a mixture, all snow into Sunday. So maybe a 3 to 6 inch snowfall is on the way. So morning snow and sleet to freezing rain. We should climb up into the mid to upper 30s. Cloudy with snow late tonight. Notice wind gusts to near 50. There's your weekend snow, dry Monday, Tuesday from Buffalo south. We may get a little light snow. Weather impact alert for today, by the way, for all of our zones. For the weekend, there's the southern tier and Southtown snow, mainly Saturday night, and then another chance of snow on Tuesday.
They already routed it. This is in the package. Mm-hmm.
Welcome back. 6:25 on Daybreak, and we were just talking about this. Now we want to show you the video. The newest additions at Highmark Stadium, the speakers.
Yeah, construction crews installed the state-of-the-art speaker system last week. They weighed in around 6,000 pounds and had to be pulled up with ropes and chains. And crews say that the new stadium will be one of the loudest in the NFL.
With an open roof like this, the acoustical design is being as high as you possibly can and firing right down onto the crowd. And then you've got enough coverage area to make sure that everybody is fully covered. You don't want any dark spots. So there's a lot of speakers that you don't see that are going to be here that aren't there now.
Yeah, each speaker had to be hung at a very specific angle because of the acoustics had to be correct. The stadium is expected to open in 2026.
Really cool seeing it come together like that. All right, coming up next on Daybreak, hundreds of local families scramble to find childcare. We'll tell you why thousands more across the country are facing the same issue.
Right now, we have a live look outside somewhere in Western New York. That's pretty much the scene, actually, it's downtown, as we've got some freezing rain falling and mixed precipitation. It's 23 degrees at 6:26. Weather impact alert day. Daybreak will be right back.
Rooftop Weather is sponsored by Seneca Resorts and Casinos. Nothing else comes close.
Right now on Daybreak, a local Head Start program forced to shut down, at least temporarily. Why it's struggling to get federal money.
Plus, a warning to cancer patients. We explain why Roswell Park is advising you to be careful when you're shopping for prescriptions online.
And spreading love this Valentine's Day, why some local veterans and active military members are in for a treat.
Live from 2 on your side, this is Channel 2 News Daybreak.
You know, it's not a treat. The weather this morning in your morning commute. Good morning, everybody. It is 6:30 on this Thursday, February 6th. I'm Melissa Holmes.
And I'm Pete Gallivan. Yeah, I prefer the frosting on my cake, but we're expecting a slippery morning commute with freezing rain pouring over parts of western New York.
Yeah, freezing rain, drizzle, sleet, a mixture of a lot of different things happening. We've got live coverage for you this morning. So let's start with Patrick. Patrick, I think that most people would think 24 degrees. If there's precip falling from the sky, it's going to be snow. Not the case today.
Yeah, it is falling as light rain, but it's freezing on contact, so it's freezing rain. Good news is it's not terribly heavy, but it's enough to make roads really crunchy or even slippery. 24 degrees. It's really light outside right now. I just walked outside myself. It's pretty light, but you can see we've got snow to the north. We have some snow flurries in the falls, but elsewhere, all of our observation sites are reporting freezing rain or sleet, and that's the case from the Buffalo Metro out towards Batavia and down into the southern tier, and northern parts of Pennsylvania getting pretty icy as well, but the back edge is on the move. It's going to be over with by like 7:30. Okay, so this is going to affect mainly the early parts and the mid parts of the commute. Winter weather advisory into the early afternoon because of some ice, and a wind advisory. It's going to get windy later today and tonight. Winds could gust to 50 miles an hour. It's 35 in Dunkirk, but 24 in Buffalo, the warmer air coming in. Freezing rain this morning. By this afternoon or at noon, maybe a little raindrop or a little piece of sleet, if you will. Then this afternoon, we're well above freezing, but it gets windy. All right, keeping an eye on the roads, we have Kevin and Dave. Good morning.
Good morning, everyone. We do have a couple of problems on the 198. This is on the outbound 33 at the 198. It looks like the right and center lanes are blocked. Could have some injuries in this accident here, multi-vehicle accident. There is another vehicle accident on the inbound 33 at the 198. That's off on the right shoulder, but slow down and move over to the left as you head in toward downtown Buffalo this morning. Roads are very slick. I mentioned earlier in the show, it took me about twice as long to get from Amherst out by UB into downtown Buffalo this morning than it would on a typical winter morning. The 290 East filling in a bit on the right as you head past Main Street and getting on to the 90 West. Metrobus and rail and paratransit all running right on schedule this morning. You can see traffic is noticeably slower on the 219 North on the left here. This is just before Southwestern Boulevard, so plan some extra time, watch your speed, and watch your step once you get to where you're going this morning or getting to your vehicle as well. Back to you, Pete and Melissa.
Yeah, good advice. Thanks very much, Dave. And we've been telling you all morning long, the roads could get pretty icy today, so we have a crew out monitoring the conditions for you.
Yeah, Kevin O'Neill is out in our storm tracker right now with our photojournalist Mike Luksh behind the wheel. Guys, how are things going out there? Is it getting better or getting worse?
Things are getting worse simply because the volume is picking up, and I could tell you I could add one more little traffic report on the 90 East in between exit 54 and 55. This would be where the 90, where you enter the 190. There was a car up against the median, too, and cars slowing down as a result of that. This is 90 West. You can see the Milestrip Road exit 56 to the right. And again, it's all about precipitation type. It is 27 degrees, but it is raining because of a warming layer aloft. It's forming as snow and then melting or partially melting on the way down, and then it's back to cold on the boundary layer. So it's either freezing or partially refreezing as it works its way towards the boundary layer. And so we are getting this slippery layer. Right now, the thruway itself is doing A-OK. Lots of warning on this, lots of salt on the roads, people driving under speed, which is a good idea. You're going to want extra time to thoroughly scrape off and defrost your windshield and all your windows. And also, again, those exterior steps, the driveway, your walk into work could be icy and dicey. But as of now, the major thoroughfares, if you drive under speed, unlike this guy to the left, you're going to be safe this morning. Guys?
All right, really helpful information out there, Kev. Be careful. Thank you. 6:35 on Daybreak, and in developing news this morning, we're learning that a lot of Western New York families are scrambling to find childcare because of confusion over federal aid. Some of these Head Start programs are partially funded by the federal government, and in recent weeks, dozens of programs have not been able to access money.
It's because it's a ripple effect based on the back and forth over federal funding freezes from the White House. And one local agency is finding itself caught in the middle. We're told the confusion forced the shutdown of the Cattaraugus and Wyoming Project Head Start last Wednesday. Now, about 84 staff members were temporarily left without pay, and about 200 children were affected. It is one of over 40 programs across the country impacted, totaling more than 20,000 children and families forced to find childcare elsewhere.
We cannot have our parents left in limbo when it comes to childcare. So I'm demanding that HHS take immediate action to fix this problem, because otherwise we could soon be facing a childcare cliff in upstate New York and around the country.
The federal funding freeze was rescinded last week, but programs are still waiting to receive payments. Two on Your Side is told payments will be expedited to Head Start programs and operators. The programs that are affected are expected to fully reopen this Monday.
Meanwhile, Jewish Family Services is laying off over a dozen employees. CEO Dr. Molly Carr says it's because of the loss of federal funding. This follows last month's executive order that halted that funding for foreign aid programs like the organization's refugee resettlement program. 15 employees are expected to be laid off. 6:37 on Daybreak, and in health news this morning, Roswell Park is warning anyone thinking about buying their prescriptions online to think again. Roswell Park says there is a booming counterfeit pill industry, which is posing a danger for people who order on websites, especially cancer patients. And while these websites may have cheaper prices, Roswell Park says anti-drug and opioids are the most common classes of counterfeit drugs. We've got links that can help you find safe prescriptions. Just head to this story on our website, WGRZ.com.
And next week, many of you may be planning to celebrate a special holiday.
Yeah, it is Valentine's Day, just over a week from today. And some local organizations are making sure that everyone feels celebrated. It's part of the Valentines for Veterans campaign that helps support active military members and veterans in VA hospitals. So ServPro, local schools, and Blue Star Mothers are all teaming up to give some special care packages to those veterans and active service members. And we're told that donations have been pouring in. If you still want to help, you can drop off donations through tomorrow at the company's office on Evans Street. We've got the address and a list of donations of what they're accepting on our website, WGRZ.com.
It is 6:38 now on Daybreak, and today marks 1 year to go to the opening ceremonies of the 2026 Winter Olympics in Milan and Cortina, Italy.
And right now there are celebrations in the host cities. And Matt Renault with our sister station KUSA out of Denver is in Milan right now. These Olympics have two host cities, actually. Matt, what's the reason for that? Good morning, by the way.
Good morning, Pete and Melissa. Yeah, good morning from Milan, Italy. And I'll tell you, the reason is, one, because they wanted to do something that hadn't been done before. And two, they were looking, the organizers of 2026 Winter Olympics, they were looking to try to showcase as much of northern Italy as they could in having an Olympics in the cosmopolitan city of Milan, as well as the beautiful Italian Alps of Cortina and those beautiful Dolomite Mountains that are up there. And so the idea was to showcase the mountain regions as well as the city regions and bring those together while using as many existing venues as they could, so they didn't have to build a whole lot of infrastructure for these Olympics.
The only thing that would make me more jealous is if you were sitting in a cafe sipping a cappuccino. But Matt, what are you hearing about opening ceremonies?
I tell you, Pete, don't think I'm not. running over there, by the way, to grab a cappuccino in between our live shots with all the sister stations that we're doing. I'll tell you, opening ceremony is going to be spectacular. It's in San Siro Stadium here in Milan, which is an iconic venue for soccer and concerts. It's been around for 100 years, and they keep doing renovations on it, building it up bigger and bigger. Now it's 80,000 seats, so they're going to have that in San Siro, and something they've never tried with an opening ceremony before, because these Olympics are so spread out over northern Italy. They're involving Cortina as well as other cities in the mountains that are having events and venues during these Olympics. And so there's going to be an opening ceremony here in Milan, but then live they'll remotely bring in all of these other sister cities to participate in the opening ceremony. And so that's a first, and I think will be pretty spectacular to see.
Okay, you're giving us such useful information. I have very basic questions right now. A, what time is it in Milan right now? And B, what is that beautiful church behind you?
The time first, Jeff, what time is it right now? It's 4 o'clock, maybe 4? Right now? Yeah. Oh, 12:40. I'm way ahead of myself. It's 12:40 in the afternoon. So it's lunchtime, and so it's lunchtime. And then the beautiful church behind me is the cathedral in Milan. And this is one of the most spectacular sights you're going to see in the world. It's certainly the thing that Milan is maybe most known for. It's the largest tourist attraction. They started building this church back in 1386. Wow. It took 600 years to build it. They didn't finish until 1965. There are 135 spires up there, more than 3,000 statues, and there's actually some damage on the front of it from World War II during the fighting that they left on there as a reminder to stay peaceful and not go back to war. And so this is one of the most spectacular things. You can tour inside of it and actually go up onto the roof, and the view up there is definitely something you have to see if you're ever in Milan.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Matt Renaud, reporting live from Italy. Arrivederci.
I'm glad I asked. That was really fascinating.
Yeah. How did it take 600 years to build?
Well, they were behind schedule and over budget. Right. You know, a government project.
We got a stadium going up here in 2 years, right? Anyway, that was beautiful, that church. Wow, gorgeous. All right, let's get to it. We have some bona fide freezing rain occurring right now in downtown and in many areas. It is very, very slippery out there, folks. Freezing rain is the real deal. This is rain that turns to ice on everything as it hits the ground, and that's going to be the case as we head through this morning. So get ready for freezing rain and sleet out at the bus stop. Temperatures well below freezing, but we'll climb above. By lunch, we're above freezing, and if there's any precipitation left, it'll just be a little drizzle or a light rain shower, mostly cloudy this afternoon. You can see the pink, that's the frozen sleet and freezing rain moving through. Farther to the north, there's still enough cold air for some snow near the Lake Ontario shoreline. But across the southern tier, it's all freezing rain that's occurring. A future look takes it out of here pretty quick. So by 8, 9 o'clock, other than a few little areas of drizzle or rain shower, temperatures should be above freezing, so we'll melt some of this glaze, but it may take a little while. By this afternoon, just some clouds, but then the wind begins to pick up. All right, looking ahead, tomorrow, colder, breezy, more snow come the weekend. It looks like Saturday night into early Sunday, maybe as early as Saturday afternoon, and then cool weather continues into next week. I am going to slowly pace off this roof. It is a sheet of ice up here. And we'll have your 7-day forecast coming down.
Mic check 1 2 3. Checking Natalie's mic. Is my IFB not on? Sorry, guys.
Welcome back. 6:46 now on Daybreak, and we're issuing a weather impact alert for today. It could be impacting your morning commute with icy roads and some mixed precipitation.
Yeah, in just a few minutes, we'll hear from Dave Cash and we'll hear from Patrick. But first, we want to get a look at the roads with Kevin O'Neill, who's out in Storm Tracker this morning as volume is picking up. Kev, what's going on the roads?
Yeah, we're focusing on the major thoroughfares right now. You probably recognize the Route 5 heading towards the Skyway, obviously inbound into Buffalo. Again, you know, the slipperiest part we've seen are some of the side roads, really. I think what's going to happen, you're going to be driving under speed, certainly 45 miles an hour, but it is going to be the ramps. It is going to be when you pull into the side streets or maybe into your work driveway that's untreated, that you get into the really icy surfaces, you know, and again, the exterior steps, the sidewalks, again, that's going to be iced over. As of now, the thruway looks A-OK. Lots of warning on this, lots of salt on the roads, and of course the car themselves sort of disrupting the freezing rain, if you will. There is freezing drizzle falling right now. Again, it's raining and it's 27 degrees. It is melting aloft and then refreezing as it gets to the boundary layer where we are below 32 degrees. So as of now, things are under speed, but for Western New York standards, it's pretty passable. You know, as long as you make smart decisions, you're going to be A-OK. Not a big deal heading into work. Just give yourself a little extra time and thoroughly scrape off the windshield. All four sides of the car, please, guys.
All it takes, though, is one bad driver to really slow things down for everybody's morning commute. So, all right, Kev, thank you. Be careful out there. Dave, what is going on? Any issues on the roads right now?
There are a lot. Good morning to you, Melissa and Pete. Right now, an accident with some injuries has the access to the 400 North blocked off at Route 16. So you'll want to avoid that area. That's right at the traffic signal near Olean Road. We also have got a minor accident on the 90 East before the 190. That's got traffic backed up to before the 400. So expect a slow go there this morning. This is an accident on the outbound 33 at the 198 where they had the right and center lanes blocked. You can see traffic just slows for a short bit because volume is light heading out of downtown Buffalo. Heading into downtown Buffalo, minor accident on the right shoulder at the 198. Here's a live view of an accident on the 290 West. This is just beyond Main Street, left lane blocked there. 290 West is backed up to the 90, and the 290 East from the 990 all the way to the 90 West ramp is bumper to bumper. You may want to avoid that. We did have an accident a little bit earlier inbound Route 5 on the left here at Outer Harbor Drive with a vehicle spun out. They just cleared that up, and the delays are cleared up as well. Now in Evans, we've got a water main break this morning. Bennett Road is closed to all but local traffic between Lakeshore Road and Dennis Road. And there is also another water main break that is affecting Mile Strip Road in between McKinley and the 90. They have a lane shift there. So that's a spot you may want to avoid. Back to you, Pete and Melissa.
Wow. All right, Dave, thank you. We will check back in with you later on this morning. And we are covering breaking news right now, working to learn more about a very serious fire in Batavia. Flames broke out at this home on Vine Street around 1 o'clock this morning. Our photojournalist at the scene saw firefighters loading an unresponsive child into an ambulance. We don't know the extent of that child's injuries or how many other children or adults were involved in that fire. We have reached out to Batavia Police, and we will update you as soon as we learn more.
It is 6:50 now on Daybreak, and time for the stories you need to start your day. New Yorkers are demanding justice in the death of an inmate at a correctional facility in central New York.
Back in December, we told you that Robert Brooks of Rochester died after he was beaten by Marcy Correctional Facility officers, and now his death has been ruled a homicide. But will charges be filed? Daybreak's Natalie Foss has more on the investigation and a statewide call to action. Natalie?
Melissa Pete, New York State Governor Kathy Hochul is calling for all of the more than a dozen correctional officers and 2 nurses involved in Brooks' death that are currently suspended to be fired. According to attorneys, the medical examiner's office ruled Brooks' official cause of death as compression of the neck and multiple blunt impact injuries. They say the manner of death was determined to be a homicide. Brooks' family gathered in Rochester on Tuesday night with dozens of people calling for prison reform and justice. An attorney for the family says they look forward to the prosecution of those responsible. The state attorney general appointed Onondaga County District Attorney William Fitzpatrick as the special prosecutor in charge of investigating Brooks' death. The case is expected to be heard in front of a grand jury. So far, there have been no criminal charges in Brooks' death. Pete, Melissa.
All right, Natalie, thank you for that update. Right now, we've got a live look outside somewhere in western New York. Mixed precipitation, icy roads. Patrick's full forecast is just coming up in 60 seconds. We'll be right back.
Good morning, everyone. It is an icy morning for sure out there as we are transitioning from snow to now freezing rain and sleet, and then eventually a little bit of rain before all of this comes to an end. Windy weather this afternoon and tonight, and another round of snow is coming, it appears, for the weekend. But let's deal with the here and the now. The pink is our areas of freezing rain, maybe a little sleet, but it's mainly freezing rain. Still getting reports, just got a report of light snow in Wilson, light snow in Niagara Falls. But again, a lot of this, especially from the thruway on south, is coming down as freezing rain, which is very, very slippery for sure. The good news is as the freezing rain continues across the southern tier in northern Pennsylvania, you can see the back edge quickly approaching. So this is not going to last too much longer. However, the ice is going to stay on sidewalks and roadways for a little bit. We're not going to go above freezing until about noon to 1 o'clock this afternoon, and then it begins to melt. So there it goes. Future Look takes the ice away. This afternoon, temperatures climb into the mid to upper 30s. Clouds, the wind increases, okay? Overnight tonight, the actual cold front comes through. A quick little burst of snow, 1, 2 a.m. Most of us sleep through it. And then it's cold, but that will add a layer of snow on top of the ice, so it could still be slippery tomorrow. Windy in the morning, and then the winds taper down, and then it looks like it's quiet for the rest of Friday, just a little bit on the cold side. Additional ice accumulation, not much more, but still enough to cause from slippery roads. That's where you see the pink, and the wind will become another thing. Late afternoon into tonight, winds 35, gusting to 45, maybe even near 50 miles an hour. That takes us through tomorrow morning. We leapfrog to Saturday. There is the snow that's arriving late afternoon and evening. Enough snow, and this will be all snow into Sunday morning to shovel and plow. Maybe a 3 to 6 inch snowfall coming out of this. All right, long range forecast. Friday dry. Snow develops later Saturday night especially, wrapping up pretty quickly on Sunday. And then dry into next week. However, from Buffalo south, there's a chance of some light snow grazing through on Tuesday. Wednesday dry, but then it looks like we could see another system with more snow next Thursday, which is Valentine's Day Eve, I think.
Just a reminder about the roads right now. They are a mess. It's 290 west at exit 7 Main Street, left lane closed. 90 east at exit 54. That's the 400 in West Seneca, lanes closed. 33 outbound at the 198. Part of that's closed. 400 north. Give yourself extra time. We'll hear from Dave Cash coming up at 7:26.